In the country of Sri Lanka, sea level rise is a major issue, especially with the densely populated cities and industries along the coastline having to potentially relocate from rising sea levels. Thus, today we will be looking at the possible adaptations that Sri Lanka can incorporate onto their coastlines, and these include rehabilitating their sand dunes and installing seawalls and revetments. Sand dune rehabilitation includes restoring the sand dunes along the coastlines to prevent sand erosion. Sand dunes also reduce the force of waves from tropical storms that could potentially damage the infrastructure within Sri Lanka. So in this top image here, this is an image of the coastline of Sri Lanka. And as you can see, there are no sand dunes visible along the coastline, which is potentially dangerous for the city and industries here. On the bottom image here, this is what a sand dune should look like. It is kind of tall off the coastline and it would catch any powerful waves, as shown here, from any tropical storms that could potentially press hard, high-forcing waves. And the roots here, as you can see in the vegetation, they will hold the sand dunes in place, so that when a powerful storm comes and there's a powerful wave, the sand dune will catch it and absorb the energy instead of the energy being released into the city and causing major damage. Seawall and revetment installations include installing large structures, both made of stone and concrete, to reduce the force of waves from reaching the infrastructure within Sri Lanka and causing damage. So on the right image here, this is an image of a seawall. As you can tell, it is perpendicular with the elevation of the water. And so the wall will act as a force that kind of reflects the force of the waves and back into the ocean instead of dealing with the infrastructure here and causing damages. And then the image on the top here, this is a revetment, which is kind of like a wall, but at more of an angle. And so the energy of the waves will still come down and be reflected off and released back into the ocean, preventing any damages from the infrastructure on the sides here. And on the bottom, this is still a seawall, even though it kind of looks like a revetment with the angled walls, but it will still be reflected out into the ocean instead of damaging the infrastructure here. And so these strategies are potential adaptations that Sri Lanka could incorporate onto their coastlines to combat the effects of sea level rise and preventing damages in the future.